So I thought I would show what happens when you get to town. Basically, your pack explodes. You dry out your gear, you reorganize your resupply stuff, and you do your dishes in the bathroom sink. And your laundry either in the sink or in the shower, or if you're lucky and there's laundry available, you do it there. Back on trail tomorrow. So as I put the resupply stuff together, over the last 2 days, I've only taken away from my original 6-day resupply by 2 bars and 2 breakfasts, which means I still have 4 breakfasts and 6 dinners. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dinners. So I needed to add in some calories here. And I talked about adding in Snickers bars just as calories only. So I have 5 of those. I'm thinking I'll only have maybe 5 nights in the Smokies, so that should do me well there. I've added in some salmon and a tuna packet. Now my resupply box already had one in. I didn't have any wraps at the store, so this will be lunch. I found some really interesting jerky, roadkill, sounds delicious, and this duck meat stick. I've never had that. So those will be just added protein snacks. This was from a friend for my birthday, so I added that in. It's a chocolate bar. And since I'm down on breakfast, I will use these 2 oatmeal packets and a carnation breakfast essential. Not my pick, kind of crappy, but that's okay. And then these are a mixture of some protein powder I found in a hiker box and a chocolate hot chocolate drink mix. This is just going to be kind of like an energy boost during the day. There is some instant coffee in there as well. And then a leftover almond butter packet, some leftover additional electrolytes, and I'm gonna wing it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So my bear can is packed, and that's one of the things that I have to keep in mind when selecting foods for resupply, is that it all needs to fit in my bear can. And that includes smellables, so lotions and hand sanitizer and sunscreen and chapstick and toothpaste all have to go in there at night. The first day, I can carry stuff in my pack. And so the first day's food can just be out of the bear can, but everything from the second day on needs to fit in here. Now, as the days progress, I get lots of space. So then I can put in things like my cook pod and fuel canister, and sometimes even my little ditty bag with other things to have more space in my pack. As the food empties, I just add things in here. But it does limit me. I'm looking for foods that are nutritionally dense. They are high in calories. They're easily stuffed into this can, so compact. And also cost savings. That's a big one too. I have to find inexpensive foods. And with all of those, it's really hard to find, but doable if you make the effort. I am making myself second breakfast. I'm stuck here in Fontana because of the weather and using leftover breakfast toast. I was going to do the jelly from Smucker's, but it's just corn syrup and I can't get myself to do that. So I'm using some of my dried fruit and may need to pick up a few more items for my resupply. I'm at Fontana Village and heading down from the little condo type thing that I'm staying in to the general store. And I really don't recommend Fontana. I don't recommend this place. It's overpriced and very limited in the things that are offered. There's no fresh food. There's one restaurant, but the portions are extremely small and it's high priced and the menu is limited. The general store does have resupply, but it's $5 for a protein bar and there's no fresh food. So I'm stuck here, feel stuck anyway, for a day due to potential 60-mile-per-hour winds tonight and freezing temps at high elevation of over 5,000 feet. So I will start the Smokies early tomorrow morning. They expect you to stay, or require you to stay in the shelters. So my first day needs to be 12 miles, which is fine, but it's up. And so I'll try to get an early start to the day. I don't generally speak negatively about things, as you can always find something positive. There are some really cute buildings here, some cottages and so forth. There is a restaurant at the top at the lodge, and in season another place to gather for, there's a pool, there's some gaming, things like that, tennis courts, looks like a volleyball net. And down here is an ice cream shop that in season is open, and the general store. So I think it'd be a great place for families or to get away, a little vacation. It's just not ideal for my current situation. Although I have to believe that there's a reason that I'm stopped here. And I think that's because I'm having trouble with my shoulder and my bicep. The chiropractor at Gorgeous Days was really helpful, and I think I probably just needed a couple more realignments there with some myofascial work, because it felt great for a day and then it started to really bother me again. My bicep hurts enough that I have to hold this phone in my other hand because it hurts to text, and that's not great. Usually I just push through these things, but I've got 6 months here of hiking, and so I am going to take this as a you need to chill. I'm going to do my best to enjoy my stay here and maybe connect with some hikers. I met some people this morning and I'm looking forward to some really good conversations. Down here at the general store, they do have some games and places to sit and connect, so I plan to do that for the rest of the afternoon. Feeling much better after getting out for a little walk and talking to some other hikers down at the general store. It just feels good to connect and share experiences over the last few days and feel like we're all in the same boat. So my spirits are lifted. Getting creative with a little tuna packet and some leftover potatoes from breakfast. So I said I was going to say yes to everything, and I was just offered leftover pizza. It's still warm. It's been a good but very long day. It's hard for me to take zeros, and although the weather was calling for really low temps and really high winds, that shifted, and of course it's not so bad on Molly's Ridge, but I have to trust that the trail gives you exactly what you need, and I suppose maybe I needed a day and didn't want to take it, so the weather provided me with the reason to stay and rest, and I did. Caught up on a lot of things, but mostly just connected with a lot of people, and that felt great. So I'm ending my night with a walk down to the general store to see who's hanging out, and then I will be going to bed early. Another advantage of taking the day is that I'll be starting the trail with a couple of other couples a couple of other groups. So there are 7 people out there already that I know starting with me tomorrow, and I'm sure we won't hike together, but we will end up in shelters together, and we'll kind of hop along through the Smokies. So excited.